Hey there, today we're doing a review of the Osprey Transporter 26+6 backpack. Here at Nomads Nation, we have been reviewing the world's best EDC and travel gear for the past 7 years. And in this video, I'm gonna tear this bag apart. I'm gonna fully pack it out, double check its advertised capacity, gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons and overall scores. And if you're not 100% sold that this is the bag for you, you're definitely gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because there I will make 2 alternative bag suggestions in case you're not quite feeling the Osprey Transporter 26+6. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Osprey Transporter 26+6. I almost keep wanting to say the Daylite 26+6 because we got this backpack, which is the Osprey Daylite 26+6. And this is one of the most legendary backpacks in the world of travel. Whether you're looking for a personal item to pair with a suitcase or a lightweight one-bag travel bag, this bag can do it because of its versatility, lightweightness, and the fact that it costs like $100. It's just crazy how good Osprey is. I always say that they're pound for pound the best backpack manufacturer in the world. So when Osprey quietly launched this new bag, the Transporter 26+6, it really turned some heads because obviously Daylite 26+6, Transporter 26+6. So let's actually kick this off by talking about what are the key differences between the Transporter and the Daylite. Now for the Daylite collection, it's as the name suggests. It's very, very light. And it's not just the 26+6. We've also got the 35 liter, one of my favorite large travel bags of all time. And they're just built around simplicity, being lightweight, and kind of having a little more of an old school mentality when it comes to their fabric choice. The Transporter series though is Osprey trying to modernize itself, kind of bring their designs into the future. It's a travel line, hence Transporter, but the material selection is significantly more modern in comparison. So starting with the differences then, number 1 is going to be the fabric. On the Daylite, it's an old school polyester, smooth to the touch, really, really nice look and feel to it. It's gonna be very weather resistant, very abrasion resistant, just a perfect material for a lightweight backpack. In contrast, the Transporter. This uses a 630D Nano Tough. It's 100% recycled, high tenacity nylon with ripstop and coated with carbonate. Now the Nano Tough is a registered trademark of Osprey because again, pound for pound, they're so freaking good at what they do and they're always innovating and making their in-house fabrics. The ripstop is actually gonna be this square-like grid on the fabric, which as the name suggests, if there's a rip, it's more likely to stop that rip from getting rippier. But the thing that's most interesting is the coating. Notice how sort of shiny this fabric is. It's almost, actually, it is quite rubbery and it's very thick, or at least thicker when compared to something that's a little bit more lighter and more malleable, such as this traditional polyester that Osprey uses on the Daylite. Now, pros and cons for both. This fabric is going to be much more weatherproof and have a bit more of a modern look and feel. This fabric though is gonna be more malleable, lighter, and it's less likely to peel. Now on that note, this is not a PU coating. If it was a PU, polyurethane, that's plastic, that peels. Doesn't matter if it's a zipper or a backpack. With enough exposure to humidity and sunlight, it can look like a snakeskin in the middle of the desert. But a carbonate coating can be a little bit different. There's no guarantee that it'll peel in the same way. And knowing Osprey, I just don't feel like they would have used a material that will degrade over time. So there's no better than the other when it comes to the material. It just depends on what you value more. All right, that was a long one. Next difference is the overall front layout. We're on the 26+6. You can see we have a small admin pocket here that drops to yay. And then a small quick access pocket that goes all the way down to the bottom here. But on the Transporter, we've only got one pocket, a single admin zone, which opens here, gives you a bit of organization, but it also goes all the way to the bottom. And there's a lot of volume in this pocket. Next big difference, on the Daylite, we have 2 external water bottle pockets, but on the Transporter, we only have 1. Next big difference is internal organization. You can see you have an entire area here on the Transporter versus a smaller pocket on here for the Daylite. Next is the laptop compartment. On the Daylite, it's actually inside the main compartment that is accessible through another zipper at the top, so you can actually grab your laptop quickly. Transporter though has no laptop sleeve in the main compartment. You actually get your own separate laptop compartment that is accessible via the back right here. Another big difference, the Transporter has a yoke at the top of the shoulder straps, and the Daylite does not. But should be noted that the Daylite 35 actually does. And we'll go over the pros and the cons of that design choice in the comfort section of this review. Transporter shoulder straps also have a bit more width to them as opposed to the Daylite, which are a little bit thinner. Notice too that the Daylite has a handle here at the bottom, Transporter does not. And the final difference would be the price point, as the Daylite's still coming in around 110 USD, but the Transporter is coming in around 175 USD. Should be noted too, there are also gonna be some other differences, colors, zipper pulls, but the differences that we went over will tell the majority of the story. Okay, Daylite, see you later. We'll bring it back out at a different point in time. Let's continue with the gist of the Transporter. Let's start by actually measuring the capacity, because when we did this with the Daylite, we found it wasn't actually 26 liters, closer to 22, I believe. All right, you can see we have filled out the front Almond pocket and the main compartment with our factory grade measurement balls. We are currently unexpanded, and we did not fill out the water bottle pocket, nor did we fill out the laptop compartment, because you can see just how flush it is when the bag is actually packed out. There's no real extra capacity in there. Quick dimensions check. We've got a height of 16 inches, a width of 12.5, and a fully packed out base depth of just under 10 inches. So as you can see right here, we're looking at about 20 liters capacity in the main compartment and about 5 liters capacity in the front admin pocket, which means that we're right around 26 liters in total. But now, time to check it when it's expanded. And fun fact, when you expand the Transporter, you can see the gusset right there. All the additional volume actually goes into this compartment of the bag. Oftentimes you'll see the expansion gusset more in the middle, so it just goes right into the typical main compartment section. But you're just getting it actually in this crevice here, which means you gotta unzip to actually utilize that extra space. Okay, now fully packed out in expanded mode, let's do another dimension check. Now, one thing to note about this bag when it's expanded is just how deep it is, because it's actually a very short bag. It's 16 inches in height. To get a full 32 liters, 26 plus 6, 32, yes, to get a full 32 liters, we gotta find that somewhere. We're not getting it in the height, so you can see when this thing's expanded, it is just, it's a big boy. It's chunky. And you can see now we've got a depth of 10.5 inches, but with the same height of around 16 inches and the width of just under 12 inches. So you can see right here, we're at 30 liters on the dot. Is that clear, Sig? 30L, which I'll be honest, measuring the capacity of this bag was a little more challenging than your typical bags, so we probably may have missed a couple of liters in there. So I think it's safe to say that it is right around 25, 26 liters when unexpanded, and right around 32, 33 liters when expanded. Osprey claims the Transporter 26 plus 6 is 2.1 pounds in weight, and you can see I'm getting 2.1 pounds on the dot. Between the Transporter and the Daylite is that the Transporter is 2.1 pounds, but the Daylite coming in lighter, it's only 1.8 pounds. But either way, like, both of these bags are impressively lightweight for how much capacity they give you. As of recording, this bag comes in 4 color options. This is what the bag looks like when it's empty. And here you can see it fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8", and Jason Bagmoa is 6'2". All Osprey bags are protected by their lifetime warranty, and it's one of the best warranties, not just in the world of bags, but just in the world in general. It's an incredible warranty. Google it. It's impressive. And for all that, this bag runs around 175 USD. Now, a quick note before we jump into the actual meat and potatoes of this review is that if you're thinking about picking up one of these bags, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. 2 reasons why. First, that link makes sure that you get the best price. And second, we oftentimes have discount codes with the brands that we review. So if you want to get the best price and get access to any discount codes that we might have, the first link is where you do it. Now, let's talk about the materials of the Osprey Daylite Transporter. Now, I already ripped on the primary fabric, which is a 630D nylon with that polycarbonate coating. It's just gonna kind of feel thick and almost like a tarpaulin, but it's a very high quality material and it feels great and it looks nice. It's got a really good sheen to it. And because of that carbonate coating, water is literally gonna roll right off of this bag, but that does not mean it's a waterproof bag, as water can definitely still seep through the zippers. Speaking of zippers, we are looking at YKK. I didn't even see, I just know that it is because Osprey is always using the best. Again, pound for pound, Osprey, in my opinion, just kind of the best in terms of what they bring to the table, how much they innovate, and the best materials in the game for the price point. These YKK zippers are built to last, and they are not PU coated, so they will not peel. I do think Osprey cuts some corners where they have to though. This nylon webbing is, yeah, cheap. Same thing with the one on the shoulder straps, actually the exact same. It's just, it's average. Average mesh. It's good at the price points, but you also have to take into consideration the innovation that Osprey is bringing to the table, such as all the materials that go into their signature Airscape back panel, which we will talk about in more detail in the comfort section of this review. Oh, we got some hardware here that's Woojin. So for my overall score for materials, I'm gonna give this bag a 3.5 out of 5. I'd probably give the Daylite a 4.5 out of 5 because it's coming in at a much lower price point. This is almost double the price. But we didn't get improvements in the lining and the shoulder strap webbing. But the one thing to keep in mind is just how epic that Osprey's lifetime warranty actually is. So if any of these materials were to ever fail you, you can just get a new bag. And one note about all the scores in this review, please keep in mind they're personal. And these scores are just based on my experience using the bag. Next chapter, let's pack out the Osprey Transporter 26+6. Now looking into the main compartment, we can fit our typical sized packing cubes. You can see I've got a larger cube and 1, 2 smaller cubes, all of which fit perfectly right here. And then the extra space that you're gonna get from expansion is gonna come in here. Now we are not currently expanded. You can see this gusset is in fact closed. So right now we can fit a tech pouch and a DOP kit, zip this on up, and wow, I mean, it's a perfect fit. 1 big packing cube, 2 small packing cubes, a tech pouch, and a toiletry pouch fits absolutely perfectly. In the main compartment, we've got this front zip pocket here, which runs down to about yonder. Good spot for your snacks and some backup meds. Keys will go on the leash right here. 2 pen slots. This is a passport size notebook, perfect fit right there. And iPhone, can squeeze that in there. But remember, this pocket doesn't stop here. It actually goes all the way to the bottom, and it has some of its own volume as well. So my over-the-ear headphones should be able to slide in there. Or I could put my lightweight Unbound Merino hoodie in there instead. And this is going to be one of the biggest differences from the Transporter to the Daylite is that extra pocket in here and that volume down there, and whether or not that's important to you. For me, I dig it. Really, really dig it. Expansion zipper, let's go. Throwing that extra 6 liters of capacity, all of which went into this pocket. Now notice before, it was tight. Notice now, much looser in there. That extra 6 liters capacity means I can put these pouches like this and throw a pair of shoes in there? Maybe? Oh yeah, I mean it fits, but will it close? For sure. 6 liters of space, it means you can pack a lot of extra stuff, or like just 1 extra pair of shoes, depending on how you're packing. We can see right here now this thing is going into super bulky mode. Now, for the single water bottle pocket, this is going to be a bummer for a lot of people because a lot of travelers just prefer to have one of these on both sides. And I used to talk so much crap about the hydration homies out there. Everybody who's like, bag needs 2 of these. And I was like, no, it doesn't, calm the hell down. And now I'm like, it does kind of give the bag more functionality, let's say. Because while these pockets can fit water bottles, and by the way, this material is great, easy fit, 24-ounce Columbia, that's so nice. Same thing with the 1-liter Yeti. These, wow, that's just great. But it's not just about water bottles, guys. It's also just about quick access in general, right? If you want to throw your wallet in there or your glasses, with these pockets, you could do both. And if you only have one, it only means you got only one of these cool side pockets. It's not a deal breaker for me. I definitely need 1 water bottle pocket at this point. I went from needing 0 to needing at least 1. But for y'all who want 2 out there, is the side handle replacement enough, or do you wish there was 2 water bottle holders? Let me know in the comments below. The laptop compartment is accessed with 2 YKK zippers that are indeed lockable, so you can pop a lock on there, keep your stuff safe. It says it can fit up to a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which this is a cutout of, and you can see it, voila. I wouldn't say Osprey is known for their laptop protection, but actually, they surprised me again. We've got a nice false bottom, so actually right where this luggage pass-through ends, that's where the laptop is actually right at, so when you drop the bag, no plastic on wood thump. And because of this separate compartment, it just makes access to your laptop so much easier. I think for a lot of people, an easy deciding point between the Transporter and the Daylite, assuming you're cool with the price and everything else, it's just gonna be the laptop compartment. If you travel with a laptop, you're probably gonna wanna go Transporter. And if you don't, Daylite all day. Let's talk about a few more things. First of all, self-standing. As you can see, this bag self-stands very well, depending on how it's packed out. It's not obviously like a structured bag, but because of its sort of like boxy shape and that enormous depth, sorry, dude, The enormous amount of real estate of bag that's touching the ground itself stands really well. But because of that, we're gonna be limited to personal item sizes that it can fit in when it's not expanded. This is the typical sizer for a personal item in the US, 18 by 14 by 8. And you can see there's no way expanded that is going to work. Too chunky. Now, that will vary depending on what airline you're traveling on and what ticket type you have, and also the mood of the airline person checking you in. Just do a quick personal item check without expansion. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna work. Perfection. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why so many people are obsessed with the Osprey Daylite amongst all of its other awesomeness. It's just that the size is perfect. You can get it as a personal item on most flights. And then when you expand it, it goes into carry-on mode and it goes into the bin overhead. It's just a very versatile bag and very well thought out. Lastly, let's check out this luggage pass-through. It's going to work brilliantly, I just know it. And it do. It most certainly do. Here's a few reasons why I love this luggage pass-through. Most importantly, it allows you to carry your bag upright. It's very reinforced. You can actually see it's sewn into the back panel, so you're not worried about, like a little strap of nylon popping out when the bag is fully packed out. And you can see just how well done this is. It's so perfectly sewn in on the sides. But best of all too is when you wear this, you don't really feel this luggage pass through. Because sometimes on other bags that I've tested, this bottom part might be slightly elevated or it's just a little bit warped. And then that fabric difference you can sort of feel on your lower back. But when testing the transporter, I didn't feel that. And yet again, a testament to just how good Osprey is. It's the little things, but they go a very, very long way. Next up, let's talk about the comfort of the Osprey Transporter 26+6, which is where I'm not gonna be as stoked on this bag because of one reason. Now first, the comfort of a bag comes down to two things: shoulder strap and back panel. Back panel, Osprey could have one of the best in the game. This AirScape technology is freaking brilliant. No back panel will save your back during a hot, sweaty day, especially if you're a stage 5 sweater. But the AirScape or a really nice ventilated back panel can at least take some mercy, just give you some refuge in what is otherwise a torturous existence. You can see the AirScape right here too. It's sort of an elevated 3D back panel with cutouts and the mesh giving you a little bit of airflow. I will say though, I think that the Daylite version actually gives a little bit more airflow, but still it's gonna be tough to beat. And that's gonna be extended to the shoulder strap. See right here, we have all these cutouts in the foam. More ventilation points, as the mesh gives you plenty of breathing capacity. Width of the shoulder straps is nice at the top. We're almost at 3 inches. I could have used maybe a bit more depth though. They feel a little bit shallow, a little thin for my preference. But even then, we're at 1 cm at the chunkiest part right here. They do go a little bit thinner at the end, down to about 3/4 of a cm. But back to the things that I don't like about the comfort of this bag, 2 things. First of all, this yoke. Me, not a fan. Do not like it, do not pass go. I wish this didn't exist. And like on the Daylite Original, again, no yoke. Just 2 shoulder straps like this. Now here's the deal. This is not gonna affect everybody equally, but it affects me greatly. And it's because of the way I like to wear my bags, which is high and tight. I like to cinch these as much as I can and get the bag like right here so I can just feel like, you know what I mean? And when I do that, shoulder straps like this, very good, they work. When I do that with a yoke situation, then that circular yoke is fine here. But when I get it to here, don't like that. Now the fabric is attacking the neck. There's a full-on assault happening. And I wouldn't say this is the nicest fabric combination because you can feel we've got the mesh on the bottom and the nylon on the top, and they're actually meeting right here at this line. That's coarse. It's got the sewing line and it's just not great. So if you're like me and you're just pulling this thing as tight as possible, that's gonna be here. And I really didn't like that feeling. I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about yoke shoulder straps anyways. I've done the research. I know they're supposed to increase comfort and put less pressure on your shoulders and kind of like redistribute the weight a little bit. It's just not my thing. But the good news is A, a lot of people like it, and B, if you don't wear it like ridiculously tight to where you're cutting off your own circulation, then you probably won't notice it. Now for the other thing I don't like about Osprey comfort with their bags is less comfort and more just convenience, or like, I don't know, what do the girls say? It gives them the icks. This gives me the ick. This is called excess dangle. And our little protester, No Dangle Dan, hates it as well because this isn't necessarily uncomfortable, but it's noticeable and it gets in the way. And we've got it on the shoulder straps and we've got it also on the sternum strap right here. So this situation and the yoke situation are gonna bring down my comfort score to a 3 out of 5. The bag is lightweight, the breathability is fantastic, sternum straps appreciated, but the dangle, lack of a bit more depth in the shoulder straps, and this yoke right here is why I stick with my 3 out of 5 score. Now real fast, before I jump into the next section and talk about the functionality of this bag, if you're still here, then from one bag nerd to another, I'd like to welcome you again to Nomads Nation. And maybe you know you're a bag nerd, and maybe you don't know you're a bag nerd, maybe you just like good gear, or maybe you just like to travel or really into everyday carry. And if that's the case, like these are all the things that we are just obsessed with here at Nomads Nation. And if you share that obsession, or you think that you wanna learn more about this industry, you should definitely sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter. In that newsletter, I'm coming into your inbox a handful of times a month, and I'm bringing the breaking news directly to you. I'm talking limited edition drops, newest releases, industry trends, and everything in between. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this community, you should join 11,000 other gearheads and find this globe emoji in the description and sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter. I hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the functionality of the Osprey Transporter 26+6. Handles are awesome. Really nice fabric, plenty of space to grab. And although many people will miss a water bottle holder on this side handle is going to make a lot of people pretty happy as well. It's very balanced. A lot of, like the old Daylite side handle, I will show you. Because there need to be 2 water bottle holders, it was on the side right here. And then like, that just doesn't work for everyone, especially as the bag is packed out. It's doing the angle thing. This just feels intentional. And when you are carrying the bag like this, it feels really nice. Is it worth sacrificing the extra water bottle holder for? I don't know. Sig's over there, he's like, yeah, hell yeah. You can't have both, guys, that's the thing. You cannot have both, so you have to pick one or the other. Everything with this bag, though, for the functionality is just brilliant. And that's because of Osprey's focus. It reminds me, I'm gonna pull it out again, like when I reviewed the Daylite 35 liter, and it just works. It's light in the right ways, it's organized in the right ways. I think that I gave this bag a 5 out of 5, a perfect score when we reviewed it. And like, I'm not into Osprey aesthetically. Like, I don't like the way these bags look. I really hope they can modernize their aesthetic. But functionally, that bag's got it going on, this one's got it going on, and this one also perfect score, 5 out of 5. This water bottle pocket, an absolute joy to use. This 1 liter Yeti fits perfectly in here. Passing the upside down test as well. The false bottom down here gives you extra protection with the tech compartment. And just the way that all these pockets work, you got the right amount of organization up here and the volume in here. This for me is just so freaking awesome. It's one of the big reasons. It's actually a rarity in travel bags, and something that we did on my travel bag, the Fire Levo. I'll tell you about that in a second. And having this, like the ability to keep your sweater down here, right? Or your headphones, while keeping a couple of things organized up here, like that is just travel goodness. And it's all lightweight and malleable enough to make everything just accessible and feel like it works. The luggage pass-through is perfect. Nothing feels too tight. The zippers are just buttery smooth. 5 out of 5, final answer. Next up, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons. Pro number 1 is the extra capacity in this front compartment. I personally love that in a travel bag. Pro number 2 is the perfection of the dimensions of this bag. It's perfect for travel, whether you want to keep it unexpanded as a personal item or expand it as a carry-on. And pro number 3 for me is just how lightweight this bag is, considering that it's got expansion, a bunch of zippers, and a very modern coated fabric. But on the flip side, all bags have cons, here are mine. Con number 1, my first con for Osprey always is just the way that it looks. Don't get me wrong, this one's better than the Rainbow Nightmare Clown color combination that we chose for the Daylite. It was out of stock of everything else. We didn't have a choice. It was all that was available. But regardless, just the Osprey look isn't really for me. And I know, like, reading the comments from this community, a lot of other people agree. They just wish that it was maybe a little less, like, goofy. Con number 2 is the choice to put the yoke on the shoulder straps right up here. If you wear your bag high and tight, this will haunt you a little bit. And con number 3 is the dangle situation. I know it feels like a small thing, but it really compounds over time. And this bag is $170. We're almost at $200. Like, throw me some freaking web holders on there, Osprey. Please, I'm begging you. Like, literally, I'm begging you, please. Now we'll take these pros and cons and give you my overall scores. For value, I'm gonna give this bag a 3.5 out of 5, which is kind of a low score for Osprey. Like on the value spectrum, they're usually pretty high. There are some other options that I'm not gonna say are better, but you you're getting into different territory when you start hitting 200 USD. So it's a little bit harder to say this is the bang for your buck that you get with the Daylite. So adding all these scores together, our overall score is going to be 3.75 out of 5, which feels about right. I'd like to give it 3.75, 4, somewhere in that range. Functionally, it's a masterpiece. Comfort could have been improved upon, but more or less, it's just another great bag from Osprey. And as I often do in these videos, again, Osprey, you should totally acquire Nomads Nation. It would be the most gangster move ever. Then we can work together, we can make bags together, we can promote Osprey bags in our videos. We can put, thank you, Sig, we can actually get web holders on your bags. If anybody who works at Osprey is watching this, like send it up to the top. We got ideas here at Nomads Nation. And also a reminder, in case you are smitten by this bag and you're thinking about picking one up or you want to find out more information, we highly request doing so with the first link in the description, just because again, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's where you'll find them. But if you're not quite sold, I teased some alternatives earlier. Let's talk about them. First up, one thing that I've also teased throughout this video is the fact that after reviewing bags on Nomads Nation for many moons, I decided to make my own bag. And that bag turned into a brand, and that brand is called Firo. At Firo, we are on a mission to empower modern professionals to stay streamlined and focused. We've got our own EDC, we've got our own sling, we've got our own super lightweight travel bag. It's called Levo. I'm so proud of it. Honestly, I'm so proud of everything that we've done at Firo. We're really making our stamp in the carry world and building our own community in the process. If you want to learn more about Firo or our travel bags, be sure to check out firo.co, or you can just navigate on down low and find the second link in the description. Also, if you're new to Nomads Nation, you should definitely check out our leaderboard rankings video. In that video, myself and the Nomads Nation team, we get together and we all pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. Travel bags included, a lot of bag nerds, a lot of picks. It's just the best way to kind of see what the best options are on the market. I've gone ahead and linked that above. But if we are very close with this bag, here are two specific alternatives you might like a little bit more. Alt rec number 1 is going to be the Almond Oak travel backpack. This is a great pick for you if you're looking for a lightweight expandable travel bag that's not too egregiously priced, but you agree with me that the Osprey aesthetic, it's not for you. You want something a bit more modern and subdued. That's the ratio that Almond Oak just nails, and it's an amazing travel bag. And alternative number 2 will be the Tomtoc T66 Liteway. Great pick for you if you're looking for a killer travel bag that's lightweight, but you don't need the expansion and you want a bit more of a modern aesthetic, and you're also trying to keep the price point lower. Tomtoc, I just don't know how they make such high quality bags for such low prices. They're kind of like in that Osprey territory. And the Liteway is it's just great. Honestly, all 3 bags are great. And normally this is the part where I'd say you should watch the reviews on one of those, but I'm gonna do things a little different this time, because really the third alternative is the Daylite, and it's such an obvious one. So for the alternatives, I don't like to be as obvious. I like to kind of give you something different so you can see all the different options on the market. But I want to let you know, like, out of these two, which one I think wins. And I think for me, it depends on what you value. I think if actually value is your ultimate goal, the Daylite wins hands down. You're not really getting anything extra on the transporter that makes my jaw drop for 70 extra USD. I think the transporter wins if you're looking for something like this and you need better laptop protection and or access, you need better weather protection, or you really, really love that deep front pocket. Those are definitely 3 reasons why the transporter would win. But I would say, just for me being the bag review dude that I am, I think just overall when it comes to making a recommendation for people, most people will probably be better with the Daylite, which is why. And if you want to learn more about the Daylite or any of the alternatives that we spoke about, you can do so by watching these videos here. If you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.